Hello, it's Amy Storytime. Storytime. I accidentally became the third person. Here's a story about the dating disaster I've been having recently. I want to share with everyone so that everyone can take precautions and learn from my story. I happened to meet a guy who is quite handsome and elegant. He took the chance to get to know me and approach me. Because I found him to be funny and polite, I agreed to date him. According to his introduction, he has been divorced for a year and now he is a single dad with 2 children. We exchanged phone numbers and exchanged Facebook accounts. But then, gradually I discovered some strange things about him. Specifically, once, he disappeared for a few days and then he suddenly appeared and said that because his youngest son was sick these days, he had to stay up all night to take care of him. I thought he was a good father who cared very much about his children. But when I suggested that I wanted to buy some gifts and visit his son, he said that his son was completely cured but his son was afraid to interact with strangers, so he advised me not to come. Next time, he blocked me on Facebook for no reason. When I asked, he said he was technologically blind so he misclicked. Blocking someone on Facebook can't be mistaken. He gave me a very ridiculous excuse. I raised my suspicions but I let it go and asked him to unblock me on Facebook. But then he didn't unblock me at all. He said he did like using Facebook and wanted to switch to WhatsApp. I also indulged him and we continued to communicate through WhatsApp. One day, during the company's lunch break, he actively invited me to have lunch together. After eating, he said he missed me and suggested that we wait until everyone left the dining room and then the 2 of us would stay to have our own space. I also agree with him. After everyone had left, he said he wanted to go to the bathroom so he told me to wait. As soon as he left, his phone rang. It was a number that was not in his contacts. I thought for a moment and then decided to pick up the phone. Then I heard the woman's voice. I immediately asked, "Are you his wife?" She confirmed to be his wife and asked who I was. I confidently claimed to be his girlfriend and she got mad and yelled at me badly. I was shocked to understand why she insulted me when they were already divorced. I asked her again, "Aren't you two divorced? You don't have the right to insult me like that." Then I was shocked to hear her reply, "Who told you we were divorced? We are even living a very happy life." I was dumbfounded. I was deceived by him for so long. After thinking for a while, I explained to his wife how he had tricked me. By the time he came out of the bathroom, I was telling his wife the crime. When he heard me expose him, he approached, his face clear with anger and indignation. He snatched the phone from my hand and punched me hard in the face and said, "What the hell did you do?" I fell to the ground in pain. When I touched my nose, blood was already flowing out. At that moment, a colleague of mine happened to pass by and witnessed this scene, so he rushed to pick me up and take me to the hospital for first aid. After punching me, that man seems to be merciless and still very aggressive. My colleague also called the police and they took him to remand. Later, I learned that he was bailed by his friend and escaped from the police station on the same day. The fact that he punched me was also known by the superiors and suspended him for 1 month. His wife also divorced him and has full custody of their 2 sons. The story didn't end here. About a week later, I partied with friends. On the way home, I had the feeling that someone was following me. I went home and locked the door carefully, but I never thought that the day before, when I was dating him, I gave him the house key and I forgot to change the lock. He broke into my house that night and attacked me during the night. I was beaten to faint by him and the next morning, when I woke up, my whole body ached. I couldn't seem to move. Luckily for me, he didn't kill me. I called the police to report the incident and show them the evidence of my injury. Luckily, my house's camera was still working at that time, so I have the video of him attacking me. After that, he was sentenced to a year in prison, and the company also fired him. I hope that when living in the prison, he can amend and not come back to me for revenge. Thanks for watching and see you on our next video.